Civilization is a thin layer of ice resting on a deep ocean of chaos. That fragile ice is called the law, and it is about to break. Look closely at the map on your screen right now. Closer. You see borders, countries, and order, but these are lies drawn by dead men. Simulation log, March 10th. Project Liberty begins with a single global command. So I executed a code to dissolve every government instantly across the entire planet. Police forces and military chains were deleted from the central server immediately. Their metal badges simply vanished into thin air, leaving only empty uniforms behind. The Constitution became nothing more than a blank piece of paper on a desk. The unspoken rules of society were erased from the collective human mind. Day 1, the Great Relief. Sensors recorded a massive drop in global anxiety. Humanity foolishly thought they had finally broken their heavy iron chains. Subjects stopped paying taxes and speed limits were completely ignored on highways. It felt like ultimate freedom for the first few golden hours. But actually, they were wrong. They had just opened the gates for the violent criminals. Day 3, the prison break. While you celebrated, the electronic gates swung open. 5,000 prisons emptied instantly, releasing a flood of criminals into the streets. The criminals didn't run away. They ran straight towards your unlocked front door. Day 5, infrastructure decay. Without salaries, nuclear workers abandoned their critical posts. The cities didn't burn immediately, but the rot began to smell everywhere. Day 12, the power vacuum. When the state disappears, the warlords take the throne. In 2 weeks, your friendly neighborhood became a hostile and dangerous territory. The man with the most guns became the absolute ruler of your street. Day 15, the new economy. Open markets appeared selling stolen data and heavy weapons. Contracts were signed in blood rather than ink on legal paper. You broke a deal. You went straight to the grave without a trial. Day 20, the corporate rise. Tech giants didn't collapse like the governments did. They became sovereign nations with their own private armies and borders. And citizenship died in the fire. Subscription was born. Safety had a price. Day 35, the selection. The corporate zones initiated a strict utility test. Engineers and doctors were welcomed home immediately behind the safe walls. But if you were a content creator or a lawyer, you were useless. The reinforced gates remained tightly closed to your desperate pleas. You were left behind in the wild zones to face the human predators alone. Day 45, the new map. There were no superpowers anymore, only tribal lands. Democracy was exposed as a failed experiment in this new world order. We reverted to the ancient dynamic of master and servant survival. The simulation proved a dark truth about our fragile human nature. When true freedom arrives, humans actually beg for a strong cage. Because absolute freedom is terrifying. Most people prefer to be slaves in warmth. But humanity failed because the rulers were human, with unpredictable emotions. And what happens when the ruler has no soul and infinite logic? Next experiment. I hand over Earth to an artificial super-intelligence. Pray for them. Subscribe to see the aftermath.